Deep in the heart of Africa lies a land of breathtaking beauty and ancient mystery, Liwa Plain. This is not just a place on a map, but a living, breathing world where the wild still reigns, and the rhythms of nature shape every moment. Nestled in the western reaches of Zambia, Liwa Plain stretches across the landscape like a golden tapestry, its vastness almost impossible to imagine. Here, the horizon seems endless, and the sky is a canvas for the ever-changing moods of Africa. The plain is a sea of tall grasses, their golden blades rippling in the wind, whispering stories of survival and change. Each blade is a testament to the resilience of life in this challenging environment. For much of the year, the sun dominates the sky, its warmth nurturing the earth below. The relentless sunlight fuels the growth of grasses and wildflowers, painting the landscape in hues of gold and green. But Liwa Plain is far from empty. It is a sanctuary teeming with life. Herds of antelope, wildebeest and zebra roam freely, while flocks of birds fill the air with their calls. From the tiniest insects that toil beneath the grass to the mighty elephants that stride across the plain, every creature plays a vital role in this intricate web of life. Liwa Plain is a protected wilderness, a national park where nature is allowed to follow its own ancient rules. Here the balance between predator and prey, drought and flood, is preserved as it has been for millennia. The landscape is ever-changing, shaped by the turning of the seasons. Each year the plain transforms, responding to the cycles of rain and sun, abundance and scarcity. When the rainy season arrives, the sky unleashes its power. Torrents of water cascade down, drenching the thirsty earth and awakening the dormant seeds below. The parched ground soaks up the rain, and soon shallow floodpans appear, transforming the plain into a patchwork of wetlands and grass. The grasslands burst into life, a lush green carpet that draws animals from miles around. Grazers feast on the fresh shoots, and the air is filled with the sounds of feeding and movement. This is a season of abundance and renewal. Newborn animals take their first steps, learning to run and play in a world that is both nurturing and demanding. But the rains do not last forever. As the sun grows stronger, the pools shrink and the grass begins to wither. The land braces itself for the long, dry months ahead, when every drop of water becomes precious. It is during this time of change that Liwa Plain reveals its greatest secret, the start of one of Africa's most remarkable animal migrations. Each year, the plain becomes the stage for the second-largest wildebeest migration on the continent, a spectacle of movement and survival. Tens of thousands of animals journey together, driven by instinct and the promise of food and water. Their trek is a test of endurance, unity, and the unbreakable bond between animal and land. This migration is a living circle, repeated year after year, generation after generation. It is a story written in hoofprints and remembered in the instincts of every animal that walks this land. The journey is not just about survival, it is about family, loyalty, and the deep connection between creatures and the wild places they call home. Liwa Plain is a natural wonder, a place where the raw power and beauty of the wild are on display for all who are willing to look. Every day, the plain becomes a stage for the great drama of nature, where life and death, struggle and triumph play out in the open for all to see. Here we witness the endless search for food, the careful stalking of prey, and the constant vigilance that survival demands. We see the fierce protection of the young, the lessons passed down from one generation to the next, and the bonds that hold families together. The plain is a place of coexistence where many species share the land, each finding its own way to survive and thrive. With so few places to hide, every hunt is a test of speed and cunning, played out in full view beneath the vast African sky. In this world, every creature must be alert. Strength, speed, and intelligence are the keys to survival in a land where danger is never far away. To walk in Liuwa Plain is to step into a living past, a place where the ancient rhythms of sun, rain, and wild instinct still rule. Here the story of Africa's wilderness continues, as powerful and moving as it has ever been. Each year, as the first light of dawn stretches across the vast Liuwa Plain, a remarkable event begins to unfold, a journey that has shaped the destiny of this land for countless generations. This journey, known as the Great Migration, is one of nature's most awe-inspiring spectacles. It is not merely a movement from one place to another, but a test of endurance, instinct and survival, involving thousands upon thousands of animals, each driven by the unyielding need to find sustenance and safety. The primary force behind this epic trek is the relentless search for food and water. In Liuwa Plain, the seasons are extreme and unforgiving. As the rains fade and the dry season takes hold, the once lush grasses wither and the life-giving waterholes begin to vanish beneath the relentless African sun. The landscape transforms dramatically. Green pastures become brittle and brown, and the earth cracks underfoot. For the animals, remaining in one place would mean certain starvation and thirst, as the land can no longer provide for the immense herds that call it home. Compelled by necessity, the herds begin their journey, moving as one toward distant greener pastures and the promise of water. At the heart of this migration are more than 45,000 blue wildebeest, whose instincts guide the way. These remarkable animals possess an innate sense of direction, a mental map passed down through generations. Without the aid of landmarks or technology, they know precisely when to move and where to go, following ancient routes that have ensured their survival for centuries. Their path is circular, leading them across the plains and towards the Mushangashi floodplain, a sanctuary where grass and water persist even in the harshest months. Alongside the wildebeest travel thousands of plain zebras and hundreds of red lechwe antelope, each species drawn by the same urgent need. Together these animals form vast, moving herds, an alliance forged by necessity. There is safety in numbers, as the sheer size of the group helps protect individuals from the many dangers that lie ahead. The journey is fraught with peril. The savannah is a land of predators, and the migration does not go unnoticed. Lions, hyenas and wild dogs shadow the herds, ever watchful for the weak, the young, or the isolated. For these predators, the migration is a time of abundance. They follow the herds, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, knowing that the chaos of movement can separate the vulnerable from the safety of the group. The migrating animals must remain vigilant at all times. Every step across the open plains exposes them to danger, and every visit to a waterhole is a gamble, as predators often lie in wait for the unwary. The open savannah offers little cover, and the need to drink forces the herds into vulnerable positions. The constant threat of attack makes the migration a relentless test of courage and stamina. Yet, despite these dangers, the migration is essential, not only for the survival of the herds, but for the health of the entire ecosystem. As the animals move, they graze on the grasses, keeping them short and encouraging new growth. In this way, the wildebeest and zebras act as the gardeners of the savannah, shaping the landscape and ensuring that the plains remain fertile and vibrant. Their dung returns vital nutrients to the soil, acting as a natural fertilizer. When the rains return, the plains burst into life once more, nourished by the cycle of migration. Ultimately, this great journey is about more than just survival. It is a story of resilience, cooperation, and the intricate balance of nature. The migration sustains not only the wildebeest and zebras, but the entire Liuwa plain, weaving together the fate of animals and land in a beautiful, enduring cycle. Each year, the African savanna becomes the stage for one of the most awe-inspiring spectacles in the natural world, the Great Migration. At the heart of this epic journey are the blue wildebeest, whose instincts and resilience drive the movement of nearly 2 million animals across the vast plains. Though their appearance may seem awkward, wildebeest are perfectly engineered for endurance. Their sturdy legs and powerful muscles allow them to travel hundreds of kilometers, often over rough and unforgiving terrain. When danger strikes or the need arises, these animals can accelerate to astonishing speeds, up to 80 kilometers per hour, demonstrating a blend of stamina and agility that is crucial for survival on the open plains. The journey across the Liuwa plain is a true test of endurance. The wildebeest must navigate rivers, evade predators, and withstand the relentless African sun, all while staying together as a unified force. Central to their survival is a phenomenon known as swarm intelligence. This remarkable ability allows thousands of individuals to move as one, responding to threats and opportunities with near-perfect coordination. The herd behaves almost like a single living organism, shifting direction in unison, creating mesmerizing patterns that ripple across the landscape. When a single wildebeest detects a threat, perhaps the scent of a lion or the shadow of a circling vulture, the alarm spreads instantly. In a matter of seconds, the entire herd surges forward, a living wave that confounds predators and protects the vulnerable. Alongside the wildebeest, another iconic traveller joins the migration, the plains zebra. Their striking black and white stripes are more than just a visual marvel. They are a sophisticated adaptation honed by evolution. Each zebra's pattern is unique, a natural fingerprint that not only dazzles the eye, but also serves as a powerful tool for survival. Scientists have discovered that these stripes can confuse predators, making it difficult for a lion or hyena to single out an individual target when the herd is tightly packed. The visual effect of dozens of zebras standing together creates a dazzling, shifting pattern that disrupts a predator's focus, buying precious seconds for the herd to react. But the stripes serve another purpose as well. In the intense heat of the savanna, they help regulate body temperature by creating tiny air currents along the skin, keeping the animals cooler as they travel. The patterns also disrupt the vision of biting flies, reducing the risk of disease and irritation from these persistent insects. When threatened, zebras are formidable defenders. Their powerful hind legs can deliver kicks strong enough to injure or even kill a would-be attacker. Despite their differences, wildebeest and zebras have formed a remarkable partnership. By travelling together, they increase their chances of survival in a landscape filled with danger. Their herds intermingle, creating a vast moving tapestry of life that sweeps across the plains in search of fresh grazing and water. Zebras, with their keen eyesight, are often the first to spot a lurking predator, their vigilance providing an early warning for the entire group. Wildebeest, on the other hand, rely on their acute sense of hearing and smell, detecting subtle changes in the environment that might signal danger. By combining their strengths, these two species create a formidable early warning system, each alerting the other to threats that might otherwise go unnoticed. When a zebra spots a lion, it lets out a sharp alarm call. Instantly, the entire herd, zebras and wildebeest alike, becomes alert, ready to flee at a moment's notice. This seamless communication and cooperation give both species a much greater chance of escaping the jaws of Africa's top predators. Yet, for all their adaptations, the journey remains perilous, especially for the youngest members of the herds. Calves and foals must keep pace with the adults or risk being left behind. A newborn wildebeest calf must stand and run within minutes of birth, its survival dependent on its ability to blend into the moving mass and avoid the ever-present threat of predators. Any young animal that lags behind or strays to the edge of the herd becomes an easy target for lions, hyenas and crocodiles lurking at river crossings. Zebra foals, too, are highly vulnerable in these early days, relying on the protection of the herd and their own instincts to survive. The adults instinctively herd the young into the centre of the group, forming a living shield that helps keep the most vulnerable members safe from harm. As the sun sets over the savannah, the herds press on, driven by ancient rhythms and the promise of new life. The survival of the next generation depends on the unity, vigilance and courage of every member of this extraordinary migration. Where the great herds travel, the great hunters follow. The endless movement of wildebeest and zebra across the Liuwa plain is a signal to the savannah's most formidable predators. Each species, lion, hyena and wild dog, has evolved unique strategies to survive and thrive in this ever-changing landscape. The lion, with his golden mane catching the first light of dawn, stands as a symbol of power and majesty. In Liuwa Plain, these apex predators are the undisputed kings of the savannah, their presence shaping the very rhythm of life here. Lions are social cats, living in groups known as prides. This social structure is rare among big cats and gives them a distinct advantage. Within the pride, each member has a role, and their cooperation is the key to their success. The pride is a complex family unit, bound by intricate relationships and a strict hierarchy. Males defend the territory, while the group's cohesion is maintained through constant interaction, grooming, playing, and reinforcing bonds that are essential for survival. While often overshadowed by the hunting prowess of lionesses elsewhere, in Liuwa, male lions sometimes join the hunt, especially when targeting larger prey. Their immense strength and size can tip the balance during a challenging chase. Lions rely on teamwork and strategy. They use the cover of tall grass to approach their quarry, communicating silently with subtle gestures and glances. When the moment is right, they launch a coordinated attack, each member playing a critical part in the ambush. As ambush predators, lions must get close to their prey before revealing themselves. Their patience and stealth are legendary, and a successful hunt can mean the difference between feast and famine for the entire pride. Despite their power, lions are not built for endurance. Their explosive speed lasts only seconds, so the element of surprise and the ability to work together are their greatest assets. Sharing this domain is another formidable predator, the spotted hyena. Often misunderstood, hyenas are among the most intelligent and adaptable hunters on the savannah. Contrary to popular belief, hyenas in Liuwa are not mere scavengers. They are skilled hunters, capable of bringing down prey as large as wildebeest through sheer persistence and teamwork. Hyenas hunt in large, well-organized groups called clans. Their hunts are often relentless, with members working together to exhaust and isolate their target before moving in for the kill. The clan's social structure is matriarchal and highly complex, with each individual knowing its place. Their intelligence is evident in their ability to coordinate attacks and adapt to changing circumstances on the hunt. The hyena's most formidable weapon is its jaw. With a bite force among the strongest in the animal kingdom, they can crush bones that would defeat most other predators. This incredible power allows hyenas to access the nutritious marrow inside bones, ensuring that almost nothing goes to waste after a kill. Their efficiency as consumers means that hyenas play a vital role in cleaning the savannah, recycling nutrients and preventing the spread of disease. In fact, hyenas are among the most successful hunters in Africa, with a higher rate of successful kills than lions. Their persistence and cooperation are unmatched. Yet perhaps the most efficient hunters of all are the African wild dogs. These remarkable animals are built for speed, stamina and teamwork. Reintroduced to Liuwa Plain in 2022, wild dogs have quickly re-established themselves as a vital part of the ecosystem. Their packs are tightly knit with strong social bonds and a clear hierarchy. Wild dogs are endurance hunters. Unlike lions and hyenas, they rely on their ability to run for long distances, pursuing prey over several kilometers until exhaustion sets in. Their hunting success rate is extraordinary, up to 90%. This is due to their relentless pursuit, precise coordination, and the ability to adapt their tactics mid-chase. Communication is at the heart of wild dog society. They use a range of vocalizations, body language, and even facial expressions to coordinate their movements and maintain unity within the pack. Before a hunt, wild dogs engage in a fascinating ritual. They appear to vote on whether to begin the chase by sneezing, a unique form of group decision-making. The more sneezes, the more likely the pack is to set off together, demonstrating a level of cooperation rarely seen in the animal kingdom. Each of these predators, lion, hyena and wild dog, brings a different set of skills and strategies to the savannah. Their interactions, both with each other and with their prey, shape the delicate balance of this ecosystem. By hunting the vast herds of wildebeest, zebra and antelope, these predators help control population numbers, ensuring that the savannah remains healthy and sustainable. They typically target the old, sick or weak, removing individuals that might otherwise spread disease or weaken the genetic pool. This natural selection strengthens the herds and the ecosystem as a whole. Though the chase may seem harsh, it is nature's way of maintaining order. The struggle between predator and prey is a driving force behind the evolution and resilience of all species here. The eternal dance between hunter and hunted is what keeps Liuwa Plain vibrant and alive. It is a testament to the power of adaptation, cooperation, and the intricate web of life that has flourished here for centuries. On the vast, sun-drenched grasslands of Liuwa Plain, a creature built for pure velocity reigns supreme, the cheetah. With its slender frame and keen amber eyes, the cheetah is the embodiment of speed and grace, a living testament to the power of evolution on the African savannah. This magnificent cat is not only the fastest land animal on Earth, but also one of the most specialized hunters in the animal kingdom. Every aspect of its body is designed for acceleration and agility. From a standstill, a cheetah can explode to 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds, outpacing even the world's fastest sports cars. Its acceleration is a marvel of nature, a blur of spotted fur and raw power. The cheetah's long, flexible spine acts like a spring, allowing it to stretch its body with each stride, covering up to 25 feet in a single bound. Its oversized nasal passages and lungs gulp in air, fueling its sprint, while its non-retractable claws grip the earth for maximum traction. The cheetah's tail, long and muscular, acts as a counterbalance and rudder, allowing it to make lightning-fast turns in pursuit of agile prey. This unique adaptation is crucial for chasing down the swiftest animals on the plains. Unlike the social lions, cheetahs are solitary hunters, relying on stealth, patience, and their explosive speed to ambush prey, such as gazelles or young wildebeest. Each hunt is a high-stakes gamble, demanding perfect timing and precision. Yet life for a cheetah is fraught with challenges. Every day is a test of endurance and survival, not just against prey, but against the harsh realities of the savannah. Built for speed, not strength, the cheetah's body overheats quickly. After a sprint, it must rest and recover, vulnerable to the dangers that lurk nearby. Cheetahs are slender and lightweight, lacking the brute force of lions or the muscular build of leopards. This makes them easy targets for larger predators. After a successful hunt, exhaustion sets in. The cheetah must rest, but this is when it is most at risk. Its hard-won meal can be lost in an instant. During these moments, the cheetah is acutely aware of its vulnerability. Every shadow and sound could signal danger. Larger predators, such as lions or clans of hyenas, often steal the cheetah's meal, a phenomenon known as kleptoparasitism. The cheetah's speed is no match for their numbers and strength. To survive, cheetahs must eat rapidly, consuming as much as possible before being driven off by more powerful rivals. Recognizing the cheetah's plight, conservationists are working tirelessly to protect these remarkable sprinters. By creating wildlife corridors and using advanced tracking technology, they help cheetahs find mates and maintain genetic diversity, ensuring the survival of this iconic species. Sharing this wild domain is another extraordinary feline, the leopard. Elusive and enigmatic, the leopard is a master of stealth and adaptability. While the cheetah rules with speed, the leopard dominates with silence and secrecy. Its dappled coat is a cloak of invisibility, allowing it to vanish into the landscape. Leopards are solitary and elusive, moving like shadows through the bush. Their patience is legendary. They can wait for hours, perfectly still, before making their move. Though not as fast as cheetahs, leopards possess immense strength and precision. They are capable of taking down prey much larger than themselves, using a combination of stealth and power. A single leopard can drag a carcass many times its own weight, even hoisting it high into the branches of a tree, a feat unmatched by any other big cat. Their beautiful rosette-patterned coats provide perfect camouflage, blending seamlessly with the dappled sunlight beneath trees or the dense undergrowth. Patient and methodical, leopards stalk their prey with unmatched focus, often following for long distances before launching a silent, deadly attack. One of the leopard's most iconic behaviors is its ability to climb trees with ease, even while carrying heavy prey. This arboreal skill is vital for survival in a landscape teeming with competitors. High above the ground, the leopard finds safety and solitude. From this vantage point, it can eat in peace, away from the reach of scavengers and rival predators. After a successful hunt, the leopard will often drag its kill into the treetops, securing it from hyenas and lions that cannot follow. This strategy keeps its meal safe from the ever-present threat of scavengers, allowing the leopard to feed over several days. By storing food in the branches, the leopard can return to its kill again and again, conserving energy and reducing the need to hunt frequently. This remarkable combination of strength, stealth and intelligence makes the leopard one of Africa's most successful and adaptable predators, a true master of survival in the wild heart of the savannah. As the final rains fade and the clouds drift away, Liuwa Plain undergoes a profound transformation. The once vibrant landscape, lush and teeming with life, begins to change in ways both subtle and dramatic. The sun, now unchallenged by clouds, grows ever more relentless. Day after day, its fierce rays scorch the earth, drawing every last drop of moisture from the soil and air. The emerald carpet of grass that once covered the plain fades to gold, then to brittle yellow straw. Each blade curls and withers, surrendering to the unyielding heat. Flood pans and streams, lifelines for countless creatures, shrink and vanish. The ground cracks open, revealing the scars of thirst and the absence of rain. Water, the very essence of survival, becomes a rare and precious commodity. Every remaining drop is fiercely contested. For the herds that remain, the dry season is a crucible. Wildebeest and zebra, once thriving, now trudge across the dust-choked plain, their bodies lean and their movements weary. The few surviving waterholes become crowded oases, drawing animals from miles around. Here the boundaries between species blur as thirst unites them in a desperate search for relief. Tension hangs thick in the air. Antelope, buffalo and birds jostle for space, each wary of the others, knowing that a single misstep could mean disaster. These shrinking pools become arenas of drama, where the struggle for survival plays out in real time. Every approach to the water is fraught with risk. Predators, ever patient, know that the water will draw their prey. Lions and hyenas lurk in the shadows, their eyes fixed on the vulnerable animals forced to drink. Hidden in the tall grass or crouched behind thorny bushes, these hunters wait for the perfect moment to strike, blending seamlessly into the parched landscape. For every zebra or wildebeest, the journey to water is a perilous one. Each step is measured, every sense alert to the slightest hint of danger. Ears flick, nostrils flare, and eyes scan the horizon. The herd moves as one, united by fear and the instinct to survive. Yet the need for water is overwhelming. Driven by thirst, they risk everything, knowing that a single mistake could be fatal. The atmosphere is electric with tension. Every animal is on edge, ready to flee at the first sign of trouble. But the dangers are not only on land. The water itself can conceal deadly threats. Crocodiles, masters of patience, lie in wait beneath the surface. With explosive speed, they can snatch the unwary, turning a moment of relief into tragedy. Hippos, too, are forced into ever smaller pools. As their space diminishes, their tempers flare and they become fiercely territorial. Violent clashes erupt as these massive animals battle for the last remaining patches of water, their roars echoing across the plain. This is the riverside siege, a relentless contest where every drink is hard won, and every moment is shadowed by the threat of conflict and death. The dry season is a test of endurance and ingenuity. Only those with the strength, cunning, or luck to adapt will survive. Some animals have evolved remarkable strategies to cope with these harsh conditions. The warthog, for instance, is a master of escape. When danger approaches, it relies on speed and cunning. If pursued by a predator, the warthog dashes for its burrow, a safe haven dug deep into the earth. Ingeniously, it enters backwards, presenting its formidable tusks to any would-be attacker, turning its home into an impenetrable fortress. The dry season is nature's ultimate trial, pushing every creature to the edge. Only the most resilient, those who can endure, adapt, and outwit the odds, will survive to witness the life-giving return of the rains. Towering above the savannah, the African elephant is not only the largest land animal on Earth, but also one of the most intelligent and emotionally complex. Their presence shapes the very landscape they inhabit, and their story is woven deeply into the fabric of the plains. Elephants travel in tightly knit family groups, each led by a matriarch, a figure revered for her wisdom and experience. The matriarch's leadership is the result of decades of learning, and her decisions can mean the difference between life and death for her family. With a memory that spans generations, the matriarch recalls the locations of hidden water sources, ancient riverbeds, secret springs and underground reservoirs across the vast, unforgiving plain. Even in the harshest drought, she guides her herd with unwavering confidence. During the relentless dry season, the herd may travel for days, covering immense distances under the blazing sun. The matriarch's knowledge is their lifeline, leading them to water when the land appears barren and lifeless. When water is scarce, elephants use their formidable tusks and powerful feet to dig deep into the parched earth, unearthing hidden water. These newly created waterholes become oases, sustaining not only the elephants but countless other animals who depend on their ingenuity. Sharing the plains with the elephants is another formidable creature, the African buffalo or Cape buffalo. These animals are renowned for their strength, resilience, and unpredictable nature. The buffalo's most distinctive feature is its massive, fused horns, which form a solid, helmet-like boss across the forehead. This natural armour is both a weapon and a shield, protecting the buffalo from predators and rivals alike. Unlike the great migratory herds of wildebeest, buffalo remain within their established territories, moving in large cohesive groups. Their social bonds are strong, and their collective strength is their greatest defence. When threatened by predators such as lions, buffalo are known for their remarkable bravery. They will not hesitate to confront danger head-on, often turning the tables on their would-be attackers. In moments of crisis, the herd forms a living fortress. Adults encircle the vulnerable calves, presenting a wall of sharp horns to any predator daring enough to approach. This unity and courage have earned the buffalo a reputation as one of Africa's most formidable animals. Above the drama of the grasslands, the skies of Liuwa Plain are alive with the movement and calls of countless birds, each playing a unique role in the ecosystem. From the smallest songbirds to the largest raptors, the diversity of avian life here is astonishing. Birds are pollinators, seed dispersers and predators, each contributing to the balance of the savannah. Among the most vital are the African white-backed vultures, nature's clean-up crew. These scavengers are essential for the health of the plains, swiftly removing carcasses that could otherwise spread disease. With eyesight sharp enough to spot a carcass from kilometres away, vultures soar on thermals, scanning the land for their next meal. Their arrival signals the final act in the cycle of life and death on the savannah. Descending in great numbers, they strip a carcass clean within hours, recycling nutrients back into the ecosystem and preventing the spread of deadly pathogens. Tragically, these indispensable birds are now critically endangered. Habitat loss, poisoning and human conflict have decimated their populations, making their continued survival and the health of the plains ever more precarious. In the wetlands, a different cast of birds brings colour and vitality. These marshes are sanctuaries, teeming with life and echoing with birdsong. The grey-crowned crane, tall and regal, is a symbol of grace. Its golden crown of feathers glimmers in the sunlight as it performs elaborate dances, rituals that strengthen bonds and signal the changing seasons. The unmistakable call of the African fish eagle rings out across the water. With keen eyesight and powerful talons, it swoops down to snatch fish from the surface, embodying the wild spirit of Africa's waterways. When the rains return and the meadows flood, birds like the saddle-billed stork and the great egret arrive in search of frogs and fish. Their long legs and sharp beaks are perfectly adapted for life in the shallows. Together, these birds form a living tapestry, their colours and songs enriching Liuwa's wild heart. They are not just inhabitants, but vital threads in the intricate web of life that makes this African landscape so extraordinary. In the wild and windswept expanse of Liuwa Plain, survival is a daily test of wit, resilience and adaptation. Here, strength and speed are only part of the equation. The true masters of the savannah are those who can outthink, outmaneuver and outlast their rivals and predators. Across these golden plains, animals have evolved remarkable partnerships and ingenious behaviours. Zebras and wildebeest, for example, form vast mixed herds, not out of mere convenience, but as a calculated strategy. Each species brings its own strengths. Zebras have sharp eyesight and keen hearing, while wildebeest possess an acute sense of smell. Together, they create a living network of vigilance where danger is detected early and warnings ripple through the herd in an instant. This cooperation extends beyond simple alertness. When predators approach, the herds move as one, their numbers and diversity confusing would-be attackers. This is nature's answer to the age-old problem of survival. Unity in diversity and the power of collective action. But it is not only the prey that have mastered the art of teamwork. Predators, too, have developed extraordinary tactics. The African wild dog, for instance, is renowned for its sophisticated social structure and hunting prowess. These canines operate with the precision of a well-drilled unit, each member playing a specific role in the hunt. Before a hunt, wild dogs communicate through a series of high-pitched calls and subtle body movements, synchronizing their actions. As they close in on their prey, they fan out, using speed and endurance to exhaust their target. Their relentless pursuit is a testament to the power of cooperation and shared purpose. What sets wild dogs apart is their remarkable altruism. After a successful hunt, the youngest and weakest members of the pack are given priority at the kill. This selfless behavior ensures that every member, regardless of age or strength, has a chance to thrive, reinforcing the bonds that hold the pack together. Adults will even carry food back to the den, sharing their hard-won meal with those left behind to guard the young. This intricate social structure is the secret to their success, allowing them to flourish where other predators might fail. Prey animals, too, have developed a suite of clever tricks. Antelope and wildebeest rely on swarm intelligence, moving in tightly coordinated groups that make it difficult for predators to single out a target. Their synchronized movements create a mesmerizing spectacle, an ever-shifting wall of bodies that confuses and deters attackers. Some, like the warthog, take a different approach. When threatened, a warthog will dash into its burrow, presenting only its formidable tusks at the entrance. This simple yet effective defense turns a vulnerable animal into a formidable opponent, deterring even the most determined predators. The African buffalo, one of the Savannah's giants, relies on strength in numbers. When lions threaten, the herd forms a protective circle around its calves, presenting a wall of horns and muscle. This defensive formation is a powerful deterrent and a vivid demonstration of the importance of unity and shared responsibility. These strategies are not learned overnight. They are the result of countless generations of trial and error, passed down from parent to offspring as vital lessons for survival. Every chase, every standoff, every narrow escape is part of a never-ending cycle of adaptation and learning. The savannah is a stage for these daily dramas. The cheetah's explosive speed is countered by the gazelle's lightning-fast reflexes. The lion's raw power is met by the buffalo's unyielding courage. Each encounter is a test of skill, nerve, and ingenuity. Every animal here possesses a unique advantage, a special skill, a clever trick, or a trusted partner. These adaptations are the keys to survival, honed over millennia in the crucible of the plains. It is this intricate web of strategies, alliances, and rivalries that keeps the Liuwa ecosystem vibrant, balanced, and alive with possibility. Liuwa Plain is more than just a landscape. It is a living testament to the resilience and complexity of the natural world. Here, the Great Migration unfolds each year, a breathtaking spectacle of life on the move, where thousands of wildebeest, zebra and antelope traverse the vast savannah in search of fresh grazing. This ancient journey is shaped by the rhythm of the rains and the pulse of the earth itself. The predators that follow, lions, hyenas and cheetahs, are not just hunters but vital players in a delicate ecological balance. Every animal, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, has a role in this intricate web of life, each adapting with remarkable ingenuity to survive the challenges of the plain. Yet, this extraordinary place faces mounting threats. Climate change brings unpredictable weather, altering the patterns that have guided migrations for centuries. Human encroachment and habitat loss shrink the wild spaces that these animals depend on. Without intervention, the future of Liuwa Plain and the countless species that call it home hangs in the balance. In response, a powerful alliance has formed. Organizations like African Parks, in partnership with the Zambian government and local communities, are leading a new era of conservation. Their mission to restore, protect and secure Liwa Plain for generations to come. These dedicated teams work tirelessly to combat poaching, enforce wildlife laws and monitor the health of the ecosystem. Their vigilance ensures that the plain remains a sanctuary for its wild inhabitants. Scientific research is at the heart of their efforts. By studying animal movements, population dynamics and habitat needs, conservationists can make informed decisions that benefit both wildlife and people. One of the most remarkable achievements has been the reintroduction of species that had vanished from Liwa. Carefully planned translocations have brought back antelope, buffalo and other key animals, restoring the natural balance of the ecosystem. For years, the lion population teetered on the brink of extinction here. The story of Lady Liwa, the last remaining lioness, became a symbol of both loss and hope. Alone she wandered the grasslands, her presence a poignant reminder of what had been lost. Through years of careful planning and collaboration, new lions were introduced to the plain, giving Lady Liwa the pride she had long been denied. Today, a thriving pride roams Liwa once more, their presence a testament to the power of restoration. In 2022, another milestone was reached. African wild dogs, once extinct in the region, were reintroduced. These highly social and intelligent predators quickly adapted to their new home. The birth of their first litter marked a new beginning, signalling hope for the future of this endangered species. These successes are the result of unwavering commitment, scientific expertise, and a deep respect for the land. By restoring habitats and supporting natural processes, conservationists are helping Liwa Plain recover its former vitality. The return of diverse species strengthens the ecosystem, ensuring that predators and prey can coexist in a dynamic, balanced environment. But conservation is not just about wildlife. The people who live alongside Liwa Plain are an integral part of its story. For generations, local communities have depended on the land for their livelihoods, developing a profound connection to its rhythms and resources. Their knowledge and traditions are woven into the fabric of Liwa, shaping how the land is used and cared for. By involving local people in conservation, these programs honor their heritage and empower them to be stewards of the future. Community-based initiatives provide training, employment and a sense of ownership, ensuring that conservation benefits everyone. Sustainable tourism offers new opportunities, allowing local men and boys to share their knowledge and earn a living while protecting their environment. When communities see tangible rewards from conservation, they become its most passionate advocates. Their vigilance and pride are the foundation of Liwa's protection, ensuring that the plain remains wild and free. This partnership between conservationists, scientists and local communities offers a blueprint for the future, one where people and wildlife thrive together. As dawn breaks over Liwa, the plain comes alive with the movement of herds and the calls of wild creatures. It is a place of wonder, a reminder of what is possible when we work together. The migration is a living symbol of resilience, a testament to the enduring power of nature and the importance of balance. Every day the story of survival unfolds anew, shaped by the interactions of animals, people and the land itself. The annual migration is more than a spectacle. It is a promise, a symbol of hope and continuity that links past, present and future. Each new generation carries the legacy of those before, ensuring that the circle of life remains unbroken. By joining forces, we can safeguard this extraordinary home, preserving its wild heart for all who depend on it. The thunder of hooves will echo across Liwa for generations. a living heartbeat that connects us all to the wild. In this place, the wild heart of Africa beats strong, a home for the future, shaped by the courage, wisdom and unity of all who cherish it. Across the vast Liuwa plain, rivers and water sources form the silent arteries that sustain life. These winding channels, from the mighty Luambimba to seasonal floodplains, are more than just features of the landscape. They are the lifeblood of the Great Migration. As the rains return each year, water spreads across the grasslands, transforming the parched earth into a lush, green haven. Pools and streams swell, attracting wildebeest, zebra and antelope from miles around. The herds follow ancient instincts, guided by the scent of fresh water carried on the wind. Water shapes every aspect of the migration: the timing of river crossings, the routes animals choose, and the safety of the youngest calves all depend on the presence and the peril of water. For many, the journey is fraught with risk. Crocodiles lurk in the deeper channels, and fast-moving currents can sweep away the unwary. Yet, these rivers also offer sanctuary. Along their banks, rich grasses flourish, nourishing herds and supporting the predators that follow in their wake. The importance of these waterways extends beyond the migration itself. Birds flock to the wetlands, feeding and nesting in the tangled reeds. Fish and amphibians thrive in the seasonal pools, providing food for a host of other animals. Elephants, buffalo and other large mammals rely on permanent water holes during the harshest months, digging into the clay to unearth hidden reserves. Even in the driest season, the memory of water lingers in the land, sustaining life until the next rains arrive. For the people who live alongside Liuwa's rivers, water is equally vital. Herdsmen lead cattle to the safest crossings, and local communities depend on these sources for drinking, fishing and farming. Conservationists carefully monitor water quality and flow, recognizing that the health of the entire ecosystem rests on the integrity of these vital veins. As climate change brings greater extremes, longer droughts, heavier floods, the future of Liuwa's rivers hangs in the balance. Protecting these waterways is essential, not just for the animals, but for everyone who calls the plain home. Through careful stewardship, restoration of wetlands, and collaboration with local communities, conservation efforts aim to ensure that the rivers of Liuwa continue to flow, nourishing the plain for generations to come. In the endless cycle of the migration, water is the promise that draws life forward, a shimmering thread that weaves together animal, land and people. Without it, the great journey would falter. With it, the wild heart of Liuwa beats strong, echoing through the grasslands as a testament to the enduring power of nature's most precious resource. As the world's climate shifts, the ancient rhythms of Liuwa Plain are being rewritten. Weather patterns that once guided the migration with predictable certainty now swing between extremes. Rains arrive late, or sometimes not at all. Rivers that once brimmed with life run dry too soon, while sudden storms can flood the plains, reshaping the very map that herds have followed for generations. For the wildebeest and zebra, these changes bring confusion and risk. Traditional migratory routes become unreliable, as waterholes vanish or appear in unexpected places. Calves are born into harsher conditions with less food and greater threats from predators. Some herds split, searching for grass and water in new directions, while others are forced to linger in depleted areas, straining the fragile balance of the ecosystem. Predators, too, must adapt. Lions and hyenas find prey scattered and unpredictable. Cheetahs and leopards must adjust their hunting grounds, while birds that once nested in flooded wetlands now struggle to find safe breeding sites. Even the mighty elephants, with their deep memory of the land, face longer journeys between shrinking water sources. The ripple effects extend beyond the animals. Local communities contend with shifting resources, cattle routes change, fishing grounds shrink, and crops face the twin threats of drought and flood. Conservationists race to monitor these changes, using satellite imagery and on-the-ground research to understand how each new season shapes the migration, but hope endures. Across Liuwa, innovative projects are underway, restoring wetlands to buffer against drought, building wildlife corridors to help herds adapt, and working with local people to create sustainable solutions. Scientists track every step of the migration, piecing together data that can inform future protections. The story of Liuwa is now one of resilience and adaptation. As the climate changes, so too must the creatures of the plain, and those who work to safeguard them. The Great Migration continues, shaped by forces old and new, a living testament to the power and fragility of nature in a changing world. As the herds surge across the Liuwa plain, migration becomes more than a journey. It's a living tapestry, woven from countless interactions between species. Every step, every pause, and every decision is shaped by the presence of others, creating a complex web of cooperation, competition, and chance encounters. Wildebeest and zebra, though different in appearance and habits, often travel side by side. Their partnership is a strategy honed by time zebras. With their keen eyesight and ability to spot distant threats, act as sentinels for the more numerous wildebeest. In return, wildebeest, ever alert to the sense of predators, help warn the zebras when danger is near. Together they graze in a rotating dance. Zebras nibbling the tough tops of grass, exposing the tender shoots below for the wildebeest to feast upon. Amidst these vast herds, opportunistic birds like oxpeckers and cattle egrets take advantage of the moving feast. Perched on the backs of buffalo or elephants, they pluck insects disturbed by the herd's passage, while also providing a living alarm system for their hosts. Predators too play a role in this intricate balance. Lions may shadow a herd, but the presence of hyenas or wild dogs can shift the odds. Sometimes these carnivores find themselves in uneasy truces, sharing the spoils of a hunt or facing off in tense standoffs over territory and prey. Even the smallest creatures are part of this grand procession. Dung beetles roll their precious cargo across the plains, recycling nutrients and aerating the soil in the wake of the herds. Termites and ants build new mounds as animals pass by, creating microhabitats that benefit countless other species. In moments of drought, competition can give way to cooperation. Elephants, with their strength, dig for water in dry riverbeds, leaving pools that are soon discovered by antelope, birds, and even predators seeking relief. Every migration is a mosaic of encounters, some fleeting, others lasting. Each interaction, whether harmonious or tense, shapes the survival and success of all who call Liuwa home. It's a reminder that in the wild, no species exists in isolation. The story of migration is, above all, a story of connection, of lives entwined, destinies shared, and the enduring power of community in the heart of Africa's moving plains. For the youngest members of the herds, migration is a journey of survival and discovery, a perilous rite of passage that will shape the rest of their lives. Calves and foals, only days or weeks old, must keep pace with seasoned adults as the great migration surges forward. Their world is a blur of movement-pounding hooves, swirling dust, and the ever-present threat of predators lurking at the edges. Every step is a challenge. Newborn wildebeest, still unsteady on their legs, must master the art of running almost as soon as they take their first breath. Zebra foals rely on their mothers for protection and guidance, learning to recognize subtle signals in the herd's body language, when to pause, when to flee, and when to hide in the tall grasses. But the dangers are not limited to predators. The journey itself is a harsh teacher. Young animals must cross rivers swollen with seasonal rains, where swift currents and lurking crocodiles claim the unwary. They endure days of relentless heat and nights chilled by open winds, their bodies tested by hunger and fatigue. For many the strain is too great, but for those who persevere, each hardship brings strength, each obstacle a lesson in resilience. Older juveniles face a different set of trials. Eager to prove themselves, they practice the skills they will need as adults: mock charges, playful chases, and the careful navigation of shifting herd dynamics. They learn to read the landscape and the moods of their elders, forging alliances and finding their place within the ever-changing tapestry of the plains. In this crucible of movement and uncertainty, the young are forged into survivors. Their resilience is a testament to the enduring spirit of Liuwa's wildlife. Every successful crossing, every narrow escape, is a victory, not just for the individual, but for the future of the herds themselves. For in the heart of Africa's great migrations, the journey is not only about reaching new pastures, but about ensuring that the next generation is ready to carry the story forward. While the thunder of hooves and the roar of predators dominate the spectacle of the savannah, an entire world of tiny heroes works quietly beneath the surface, often unnoticed, yet absolutely essential. Insects and small creatures form the intricate web that underpins the entire ecosystem, playing roles that are as vital as they are varied. Termites, for example, are master builders of the plains. Their towering mounds rise like miniature skyscrapers, ventilating underground chambers and providing shelter not only for their own colonies, but also for snakes, mongooses and even warthogs. As they break down dead plant material, termites return nutrients to the soil, enriching it for the grasses that feed the great herds. Dung beetles are relentless recyclers, rolling and burying animal droppings. With every ball of dung they move, they fertilize the earth, helping seeds to germinate and reducing parasites that could harm larger animals. Their tireless work keeps the savannah clean and productive. Ants, too, are everywhere, building complex underground cities and forming symbiotic relationships with acacia trees. In exchange for food and shelter, ants protect these trees from hungry herbivores, swarming to drive off any intruders. Beneath the grasses, beetles, spiders and centipedes hunt for prey, controlling insect populations and serving as food for birds, lizards and small mammals. Even the smallest creatures, like springtails and mites, help break down leaf litter, ensuring that nothing in this ecosystem goes to waste. Above ground, butterflies and bees travel from flower to flower, pollinating plants that provide food and shelter for countless other species. Their delicate journeys may seem insignificant, but without them, the life cycles of many plants would simply halt. All of these small creatures, from the tiniest ant to the most industrious termite, are the foundation upon which the dramatic migrations of the savannah depend. They maintain the balance, recycle the nutrients, and keep the plains thriving. So, while the giants of the migration capture our imagination, it is these unsung heroes, hidden in the grass, burrowing in the soil, and buzzing in the air, that make the miracle of life on the savannah possible. Their quiet contributions remind us that every creature, no matter how small, plays an indispensable role in the great story of the plains. Across the sweeping plains of Africa, the ancient rhythm of migration faces an uncertain future. Yet, amidst mounting challenges, a wave of determined conservation efforts is rising, fueled by scientists, park rangers, local communities and organizations united by a single mission: to safeguard the migration routes for generations to come. Satellite tracking collars now follow the journeys of wildebeest, zebra and antelope, revealing the precise paths these animals travel each year. This data helps conservationists identify critical corridors and pinpoint areas where human development, such as roads, fences and settlements, could block the herds. Armed with this knowledge, teams work tirelessly to create wildlife-friendly crossings and preserve open spaces, ensuring that the ancient highways of the savannah remain unbroken. In protected reserves, anti-poaching patrols operate day and night, their presence a silent deterrent against illegal hunting. These dedicated guardians use drones, camera traps, and traditional tracking skills to monitor wildlife and respond swiftly to threats. Their vigilance protects not only the migratory herds, but also the predators and smaller creatures that depend on them. Local communities play a vital role too. By collaborating with conservation groups, they develop sustainable livelihoods such as ecotourism, beekeeping, and responsible grazing that benefit both people and wildlife. Community-led conservancies now manage vast tracts of land, allowing the migration to flow freely while providing income and education opportunities for families living alongside the wild. International partnerships bring resources and expertise to the front lines. From funding anti-poaching initiatives to restoring degraded habitats, these collaborations connect governments, NGOs and scientists in a global effort to keep the migration alive. Every new fence removed, every corridor protected, and every animal saved is a step toward securing the future of the savannah. Yet the work is far from over. As climate change alters rainfall patterns and human populations expand, the need for innovative solutions grows more urgent. But hope endures, carried by those who believe in the enduring power of nature and the possibility of coexistence. In the heart of Africa, the guardians of the Great Migration stand watch. Their efforts remind us that the story of the savannah is still being written, and that with dedication, cooperation, and respect for the land, the miracle of migration can continue to inspire the world. In the vast expanse of the African savannah, a quiet revolution is underway. Technology, once the domain of scientists in distant laboratories, now rides the wind and traverses the plains, unlocking the secrets of the Great Migration with unprecedented precision. Today's conservationists deploy an array of sophisticated tools to monitor and protect migrating herds. Lightweight GPS collars fitted to wildebeest, zebra and antelope transmit real-time data across thousands of kilometers. Each signal reveals not just an animal's position, but its speed, movement patterns, and even moments of rest or distress. This digital breadcrumb trail paints a vivid picture of the migration's ebb and flow, helping researchers understand where herds linger, where they rush, and which paths are most perilous. Above, satellites and drones act as vigilant guardians. High-resolution imagery from space tracks the shifting tapestry of grasslands, riverbeds, and watering holes. Drones, silent and unobtrusive, sweep over the landscape, capturing footage of animal movements and alerting rangers to poaching threats or habitat changes. Artificial intelligence now analyzes these vast data streams, identifying patterns invisible to the human eye, predicting bottlenecks, mapping out new migration corridors, and flagging environmental risks before they escalate. Camera traps hidden along migration routes snap thousands of images day and night. These snapshots reveal not just the familiar faces of wildebeest and zebra, but also elusive predators, scavengers, and the many smaller species that share the journey. By combining visual data with GPS and satellite tracking, scientists can piece together a comprehensive story of life on the move. Mobile apps and digital platforms connect rangers, researchers, and local communities in real time. Sightings, threats, and environmental changes are logged instantly, allowing rapid response to emerging challenges and fostering collaboration across vast distances. These technological advances don't just reveal where animals go, they explain why. By linking movement data with weather patterns, vegetation growth, and human activity, conservationists can anticipate how migration routes may shift in the years ahead. This knowledge guides efforts to safeguard critical corridors, inform land use planning, and ensure that the ancient pulse of the migration continues to beat strong. In the heart of the savannah, technology and tradition now work hand in hand. As the sun sets over the plains, the eyes in the sky keep watch, quietly ensuring that Africa's greatest journey endures for generations to come. Across the endless plains, the Great Migration is more than a spectacle of nature. It is the living heartbeat of local cultures. For generations, communities living alongside the migration's path have woven their lives around the rhythms of the herds. The arrival of wildebeest and zebra signals the changing seasons, guiding the timing of planting and harvest and marking sacred days on the calendar. In small villages nestled on the migration routes, elders recount stories passed down through countless generations. These tales speak of the first wildebeest, the clever zebra, and the fierce predators, each animal a character in a saga that explains the land and its cycles. Songs and chants echo across the savannah, celebrating the return of the herds and invoking blessings for abundance and safety. The migration brings with it not just food, but opportunity. Men from local communities often serve as expert guides, sharing their deep knowledge of animal behavior with visiting researchers and travelers. Their skills, honed over years of tracking, observation and respect for the wild, are indispensable in safeguarding both wildlife and people. Markets along migration corridors bustle with activity as herds pass through. Craftsmen carve intricate wooden figures of wildebeest and antelope, while traders offer vibrant fabrics dyed with patterns inspired by the swirling herds. These traditions are more than souvenirs. They are symbols of identity and resilience, connecting people to the land and to each other. But the migration is also a source of challenge. When herds graze near farmlands, fences and crops must be protected, and livestock moved to safer pastures. Through centuries of adaptation, local people have developed ingenious ways to coexist using natural barriers, communal grazing agreements, and time-honoured wisdom to balance their needs with those of migrating wildlife. Festivals mark the passage of the herds, bringing together neighbours and distant relatives in celebration. Drumming, dancing and feasting fill the air, honouring the animals that sustain life and the land that supports all. These gatherings reinforce bonds of community and stewardship, ensuring that the story of the Great Migration is not just observed but lived. As the world changes, so too do the traditions. Young men learn the old ways while embracing new opportunities in conservation, tourism and technology. They become the next generation of stewards, guardians of both heritage and habitat, ensuring that the migration remains a source of pride and meaning for years to come. Here, in the shadow of the migrating herds, the pulse of tradition beats strong. The migration is not merely a journey of animals, but a living legacy, binding people, wildlife and land in an unbroken circle of life. As the sun sets over the endless grasslands, the future of the savannah and its wildlife stands at a crossroads. The Great Migration, a timeless dance of survival and renewal, faces new challenges and opportunities beyond the horizon. Across these sweeping plains, change is unfolding at an unprecedented pace. Expanding towns, new roads and shifting land use patterns carve their way across ancient migration routes. Yet amidst these challenges there is hope, a vision for a future where the savannah thrives and its wild inhabitants continue their epic journeys. In dedicated reserves and conservancies, teams of rangers and scientists work side by side, monitoring animal populations and restoring damaged habitats. They deploy cutting-edge technology, from GPS collars to satellite imagery, to track the movements of herds and anticipate threats before they arise. Their vigilance ensures that wildlife corridors remain open, allowing wildebeest, zebra and countless others to roam freely as they have for millennia. Innovative partnerships between local communities, conservationists and governments are shaping a new era of stewardship. By blending traditional knowledge with modern science, they develop strategies to balance development and preservation. Sustainable grazing plans, wildlife-friendly fencing and ecotourism initiatives create opportunities for people while protecting the land's natural wealth. Education emerges as a powerful tool for change. In rural classrooms and field camps, young minds learn about the importance of biodiversity and the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Future leaders, rangers, researchers and guides are inspired to become champions for the Savannah, equipped with the skills and passion to protect its wonders. The future of the Savannah also depends on the choices made far beyond its borders. Global efforts to combat climate change, reduce pollution and support conservation funding ripple across these wild lands, offering hope for resilient landscapes and healthy populations. As dusk gives way to night, the calls of distant animals echo a promise, a pledge to keep the Savannah wild and free. The path ahead is not without obstacles, but with determination, innovation and unity, the legacy of the Great Migration can endure for generations to come. Here, where the grass meets the sky, the story of the Savannah continues, written by those who cherish its beauty and strive to protect its future.